Hey everybody, it's Harry from Stepper Daddy Barbecue, the YouTube channel that teaches you how to master barbecue, so if you inspire barbecue love. I've been getting a lot of requests recently to cook a brisket flat. Some of you have gone to Costco and bought a flat brisket, and you're not sure how to cook it. In today's episode, I'm going to show you guys how we cook a brisket flat so that it stays moist and juicy. We're going to show you guys how to use a injection, do a chocolate coffee rub, a little bit of brown sugar here, and I'll show you guys how to prep it so that we can get a fantastic competition result cooking a brisket flat from Costco. Make the coffee rub. You can start with any rub you want. I'm going to start with my Moolah First Place USA beef rub. This is the partnership with Jealous Devil, and it's called the Barbecue Love Rub. We start with about 3 tablespoons of a rub, like so. 2 tablespoons of coffee. I'm going to use this Nescafe, and you can adjust the coffee up and down depending on what you want, but my recipe is super simple. It's a 3-to-1 ratio. 3, 2, and 1. A little bit of cocoa powder here, a little bit of chocolate here, 1 heaping tablespoon, and we just add a little bit of brown sugar to sweeten things up. This is probably, I want to guess maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons. Doesn't really matter, just add enough brown sugar to make it kind of come together. But just remember, it's a 3-to-1, super simple. 3 parts any favorite barbecue rub, 2 parts of coffee powder, and then 1 part of chocolate cocoa powder. Mix it up. Make sure you break up the brown sugar here. Let's give it a taste. Taste of salty, coffee, chocolate, all wonderful flavors combined. So that's a rub. When you get the brisket out of the bag, be very careful about the liquid in the bag. This is called a purge. It's very toxic, and you want to just throw this in the trash. We never wash our meat, and I have links in the video description from some authorities as to why you don't want to wash your meats ever, especially chicken, because it contaminates your kitchen. So we're gonna dry this up, give it a trim, and then show you guys how to do an injection followed by the coffee rub. We'll trim up the brisket flat before proceeding. This is a choice grade, trimming off some of the fat here. And the fascia, you want to get rid of some of that. And again, a little bit of discoloration on the side. That's caused by the hot wash when the carcass is being fabricated at the production plant. And if you want, you can trim it off. I usually do. Trim some of this brisket, kind of scalded brisket off the edge here. For those of you wondering, I'm using a Delstrong Quantum knife. In one of my other videos that I did, also a brisket cook, I did a giveaway, but this one is a really great knife to use, super sharp, and you can find this on my Amazon store, link below in the video description. So for those of you who might be wondering what is a brisket flat, the brisket is the pectoral muscle of a cow, or aka the Arnold Schwarzenegger muscles, or like my sweetheart always calls it, cow boobs. And it's made up of 2 muscles, the point and the flat. And the muscle is very tough, very hard to cook, not very tender, but if you know how to cook it low and slow, a barbecue style, it will result in a fantastic brisket, reminiscent of what you might find in Texas. In this particular case, the muscle has been separated, so the point muscle has been cut away, and I just have the flat muscle, which has less fat than the point, so sometimes it's a little bit harder to cook. You can see here, this is the flat muscle here. The point was on top, like so, right here. It was cut away, so I just have the flat muscle here. This is called the lean in Texas. the point is called the fatty. So if you go to Texas and you get served barbecue in a restaurant, the meat cutter will ask you, sir, ma'am, would you like flat? Would you like lean or fatty? It's trimming off some of the fascia, some of the silver skin. This one is a choice grade. As I told you before many times, there's about 8 grades of beef in America. And the ones that you're familiar with, Prime, Choice, and Select, there's a whole bunch of other grades below that, such as commercial, cookie, canner, utility, and so on. I'm just trimming off some of the silver skin here. So, all right, so this is good enough for what we're gonna do with it. We're gonna use an injection. You don't have to use an injection, but when I cook brisket flats, because there's not a lot of fat in it to cover it, to protect it from the packer cut itself, I like to inject. You don't have to inject if you don't want to. I use an injection here. Today I mix 50-50 of these 2 injections. Tim Dickey and my buddy Dave Buska, they make great injections. I have a video out where I showed you like 6 or 7, 8 injections that I like in the marketplace. So you can make your own or knock yourself out. You can kind of do it any way you like. This particular injection was mixed with water, according to the package instructions. About 2 tablespoons each into water, about 10 ounces. So we're going to show you guys how to inject the brisket next. We're going to use a syringe to inject the brisket. You can find this in my Amazon store in the video description, link below. We fill it up with a liquid. So, and I like to inject with the grain. Push it in gently, push the plunger down slowly, see it ooze up, pull a little bit back, inject some more. So fill up all the protein microfibrils with the injection, move over an inch or so, half an inch, inject some more, pull the needle out, okay, put your finger over it, go another half inch or so to the right of that, keep pushing the plunger, fill up the brisket with the injection. So this will take probably about maybe 8 to 10 ounces of liquid here. And you do not have to inject if you don't want to. Just put a rub on and cook it, you'll be fine. You just want to get a better flavor out of it because it's just the flat muscle. I don't want it to dry out. But that's just me. You don't have to follow this approach. You can just cook the flat on its own. For additional flavor and beefiness, I'm going to show you guys a little trick we use in competition. I'm going to add a little bit of Miner's beef paste here, spread on top. You can get this from soupbase.com, who's also my co-packer based in Cleveland. About 1 tablespoon of this will be wonderful on the surface of it. Just to help to add that extra level of beefiness to the meat. It's completely optional. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. But showing you guys some black belt tricks that we use to win first place USA brisket. Okay, perfect. Spread it out. Kind of like spreading jam. It's a little black belt trick here. That's why you guys come to my channel, right? You can show you guys all the tricks used to win contests. Okay, let's put the rub on next. It's a nice even layer first. So pat it down gently. Never rub a rub. You always pat a rub down. And another layer. You can put it on a fat cap side if you like, but I'm not gonna bother. I'm gonna shave off the fat before I serve it anyway. So I'm not gonna bother putting the rub on the fat cap. Then the side here. So I put 2 layers of rub, so it's twice the amount. Alright, so we probably use about maybe, I don't know, about a third cup of rub for a brisket flat like this size. Looking good. a dome shape so that the brisket will dry out faster and get a nicer crust. Ready? Let's slice it. I have a Del Strong Shogun slicer here. Thanks to the nice folks at Shogun for sponsoring these knives I'm using on my channel. They saw me cutting my brisket previously using a chef knife and they say, Harry, that's a wrong knife, so we'll get you a real knife to slice your brisket with. So the brisket flat is done. Beautiful smoke. Cook until about tender. We probe with a bamboo skewer. Not a falling temperature or time. You can see the lines are going this way, so I'm going to have to cut the brisket this way. How the bark looks like here. So this is pretty good. Same on this side. You get the flat and then the point muscle right here. Let's take a bite from the right side. There's a little bit of the hints of coffee in it. The chocolate is very muted, but really excellent rub. So the 3-2-1 really works with 3 parts of any favorite barbecue rub. I use my Moolah first base rub combined with 2 parts of the coffee and 1 part of the chocolate and a little bit of brown sugar to kind of round it off. Let me try the one on the left now. Wow, sensational. Really good brisket. Good eating. Look at how beautiful that point is. Let me cut some of the point muscle out. Eat some of the point here. Some people don't like the fat, but I don't mind it. I think it's really good eating. This piece here, so super duper delish. Completely out of this world. All right, so this is a pass on the coffee chocolate crusted brisket flat. And then for those of you who told me that you have trouble cooking your flat from Costco, you've seen it from start to end, not that complicated to do. You just have good technique, a little bit of TLC, and a few black belt tricks, and you can create your own version of championship style brisket flat from Costco. So now that I've done my piece, more importantly is Mr. Bean's turn to enjoy some of the food here. All right, Mr. Beans, you ready? All right, I got you a piece of the point and the flat from this Costco brisket flat, right? So with the coffee chocolate rub. Wait. Okay, you can go now. He grabs the flat. Grabs the point. What do you think, Beans? You like it? Good brisket. Thanks for joining me for another episode of Slap Your Daddy Brisket Flat from Costco. Before we go, I want to say I love you guys. Wish you all the best. We are all in a kind of shelter in place at home. So enjoy the time off, be safe, wash your hands, and make sure that you spend quality time with family, cooking and barbecue, and spreading some barbecue love and patience and kindness in this world.